Hey, what's up guys? If you've watched any of my previous videos, you may have noticed that back behind me on the wall next to my squat rack, I usually have an entire column of weightlifting straps up on the wall. And you may have wondered to yourself, why does this guy have so many weightlifting straps? Well, here's the answer. About 6 months ago, I was in the market for some new weightlifting straps. And so I did what all of us do, is I reached out to my friends. Now, I'm a little bit spoiled because being in the strength and conditioning world for 20 plus years, my friends are all strength and conditioning coaches, and a lot of those guys are even competitive weightlifters. So when I reach out to them for advice on the best gear and the best this and the best that, the answers that I get back are usually really, really good. And the answers I get back are usually sometimes one, but maybe two, maybe three at the most different products. And then it's just a matter of kind of what fits what you kind of want to get out of that product the most. But the interesting thing about when I started asking about what weightlifting straps do you use? What straps do you like the best? I got all different answers, right? So everyone had a different favorite, everyone had a different answer. And so I thought to myself, you know what would be pretty cool? Let me get a bunch of them, right? And then I can kind of try them all out. And then I can maybe do a piece of content, a video, kind of showing you guys some of the best weightlifting straps on the market and the pros and the cons of each. And so that day is today, that video is this one. And so before we get into the reviews though, just really quick, if you're kind of new to weightlifting straps, what are weightlifting straps and why would you want to use weightlifting straps? Well, first off, there is a difference between a weightlifting strap and a weightlifting rack. So a weightlifting strap is something that's going to go around your wrist, and then it's going to go around the bar, and basically it's going to connect you to the bar to enhance your grip. A weightlifting rack also is going to go around your wrist, but it's more to brace and to help stabilize your wrist. It's going to be used a lot for pressing movements, bench press, overhead press, that kind of thing. So why use weightlifting straps? Well, really two main reasons, and one of them I kind of just touched on a little bit. So if you're doing a heavy pulling movement, shrugs is always the first thing that comes to mind for me, and you're doing a lot of weight and your grip keeps giving out on you and you can't finish the reps that you want to get in because your grip keeps failing, a weightlifting strap can help keep you connected to the bar and help you hit those reps without losing your grip. And the same holds true for if you're doing Olympic movements, you're doing pulls from the ground, deadlifts, that kind of thing. Now, if you are doing a lot of Olympic lifting lifts, and that's something you're actually going to get serious about and maybe even get competitive about, make sure that you don't start relying too much on a weightlifting strap, because it actually is going to weaken your grip. And at some point, if you're going to compete, your grip is going to have to be able to hold up. So if your grip is weak, improve your grip. But the other thing that you would want to use a weightlifting strap for is if you are doing a lot of Olympic movements, and this was kind of the reason that I was in the market for one, and you're doing a lot of snatches and a lot of pulls and a lot of cleans and a lot of pulling from the ground and a lot of gripping of the bar, your hands can get really beat up, really calloused up, really bad, and really tore up. And so a weightlifting strap kind of helps take some of the stress off of your hands, take some of the stress off of your grip, and it kind of helps take over and do that job for you. So when you get to a pulling movement after you've kind of already done your main lift for the day, you can use some weightlifting straps and kind of help protect your hands kind of long term. So that's kind of what they are and why you would use them. And so now let's get into the actual reviews itself. So I've got 6 different straps here, and again, I'm going to start from my left, your right, and kind of just go down the line and talk about each one, some of the pros, some of the cons. Now, one of the things that I will not be talking about and won't be discussing is price, as far as like, well, this one costs $10 and this one costs $15. And the reason is this: all of the straps cost somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks. And a good weightlifting strap, which I would consider all of these good weightlifting straps, is going to last you 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, depending on how much you use them. So for a product that you're going to have and you're going to use for the next 10 plus years, saving $3 or $5 because you got this strap and that strap is just silly, right? Get the one that you want. If you have to splurge and spend an extra $5, splurge and spend an extra $5 because these are going to be with you for a long, long time. So having said that, let's get into it. So the first one that I'm going to look at is, for at least for me, this is what I consider kind of the OG of weightlifting straps. And the reason I say that is, back in high school when I first started lifting weights, the straps that were available to us in the weight room were these kind of straps. And so this is a Harbinger Lasso Strap. And the reason it's called a lasso strap, it's also called an open loop strap. And the reason for that, it's one piece of material, and it's kind of got a closed loop with the one end, and then the strap kind of slides through itself, right? And you end up with a little loop there that goes around your wrist, right? Goes around the bar, and away you go. So, like I said, this was the strap that I grew up with. You know, back in high school, I didn't even know other types of weightlifting straps existed, right? You know, we old enough, there wasn't a whole lot of internet going on back then, and unless it was in a Flex magazine, I didn't know a whole lot about it. So this is what we used, and to be honest with you, I picked these up at a Academy Sports and Outdoors, which is kind of like a Dick's Sporting Goods. If you don't have an Academy close to you, it's just a big box retailing sporting goods store. Picked them up, and I really honestly thought at the end of the day this would be my least favorite one because I had advanced up to, you know, more advanced lifting strap. It turned out not to be the case. The more that I keep using these, the more I actually kind of like them more and more and more. And there's a couple reasons for it. One, that they're super simple, super easy to use, right? They go around here. And the other thing that I've been noticing too was some of the closed loop straps, especially if I'm snatching and I'm out wide with my grip, if I crank down pretty hard on the bar, the closed loop strap kind of digs into my wrist at an awkward point here when I'm really wide. But with the lasso strap, now back in high school, we would wrap this thing and then we would wrap it and then we would wrap it like 9 times if we could do that much around the bar, right? So now I go around the bar one time, boom, loop, and I'm done and I'm in, all right? So that way if I do have to release a lift for some reason, right, I'm not totally locked into the bar, I can let it go and it's gonna fall and it's gonna release. But when I'm out wide, I can get that single strap around and I feel like I still have a little bit extra flexibility in the wrist and it doesn't crank me down and lock me into my wrist so much. So I've really liked the lasso straps a lot more than I thought I was going to. So one last thing on the Harbinger straps, these are made out of a woven cotton material. The rest of the straps that we're going to talk about are all made of some version of a woven nylon material. So just a small difference in that. Really, some of them, it feels a little bit more like the cow strength ones, feels a little more nylon than some of the other ones. To be honest with you, you may not even really notice that much of a difference between the cotton, the woven cotton and the woven nylon of some of the other ones. So moving on to the first one of our closed loop weightlifting straps. So the difference between the lasso, again, it's one piece of material, loops through itself. This is already a closed loop, all right? So this is already stitched together, right? And that's what you got. So on these, my wrist goes around, that goes around the bar, and I'm locked in, ready to go. Now, the big advantage of a closed loop strap is it allows you, especially if you're doing Olympic movements like a snatch and your overhead, if you miss a lift and you need to release the bar and get out of the way quickly, these closed loop straps allow you to do this a lot better than a lasso strap does. So as soon as I start to lose it behind me or lose it in front of me, as soon as I let go, the bar is going to release and I'm not going to be locked and trapped into that bar. It's a really important safety feature because you don't want to miss, especially something behind you, and have your hand locked in where you can't let go of that bar and dump it. So with the Spud Inc. strap, so Spud Inc. is known in the weightlifting, powerlifting, strength conditioning world as making really well-made, heavy-duty straps and different kinds. They've now branched out and they do a whole bunch of different accessory-type items, and that's probably even cutting them short as far as what all they do now. But when it comes to the straps, the thing that I love about this strap is, again, it is thick, it is durable, it feels like you could strap in and lift a truck with this thing, and it feels like I'm gonna be dead and gone before this thing rips or breaks or comes apart, anything like that. Like it is really well made. So the thing that I didn't like as much, specifically about this strap, and this is actually what's different about the Spud strap as compared to the rest of them, is, and I'll just pick up the Rogue right here as a comparison. So the width of the strap, so the Spud is a 1-inch width on the strap, and all the rest of them that I'm going to talk about is 1.5 inches, so a little bit wider of a width of the strap. And for me personally, I like that extra width on my wrist. It just kind of helps me feel a little bit more locked in with my grip. And so that was the piece of it that I wasn't a huge fan of, at least for me personally. But a lot of you may like a thinner strap, and if you do, highly recommend the ones from Spud. So real quick, as I'm talking about highly recommending a product, Garage Gym DIY and all the stuff that I do and all the stuff that I put out is not, I don't do anything affiliate. So if you go, and I'll probably put links in the description to all of these just for your convenience, so you can click really quick and go buy any of these if you want. I don't make any money from that. I don't make a dime from any affiliate links or anything like that. So this is all pure unbiased. If you buy one or the other, if you buy none of them, it doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. So just wanted to kind of put that out there just to give you, because it's something that I always think about is, okay, well, if this guy is recommending this one, well, is it because he's got like a commission coming his way if I click that one? Nope, not the case at all. Absolutely no affiliate links throughout any of my YouTube stuff or any of the websites. So moving on to the next strap. So the next one is a weightlifting strap from California Strength. So if you're not familiar with California Strength, they are a weightlifting gym out in California. They're one of the premier weightlifting gyms in the US, and they have their own strap. So the differences between their strap and the others is more drastic as a whole. So these stand out as being noticeably different than especially the other closed loop straps. And the reasons for that is a couple of the reasons. So one, it is a shorter strap. So whereas most of the rest of these are about a 10-inch strap, this is, if you can see the difference there, maybe a 9, maybe a 9.5, maybe not a full inch difference, but they are a little bit shorter. The other big thing is they are thinner. So they are way thinner than the other ones. Having said that, they don't feel, it doesn't feel thin to the point of like, okay, well, this is going to tear up quick, or this is going to, this isn't going to last me as long. Not that at all. Like, it is a strong woven nylon. It's just not nearly as thick as the other ones. And when I first started using them, I really loved both of those aspects of the strap, and I still do. I love the fact that it's thinner. I love the fact that it's a lot more pliable than some of the other ones. I love the fact that it's shorter. What I didn't start to love over time, and it's one of the things that they actually talk about on their website as a pro for them, is that these straps keep you connected to the bar, in the sense of this strap is not going to completely take over your grip. You're still going to be, your grip is still going to have to do some work with this. I don't feel as just locked in where this thing's not going to move at all. My grip's not going to move at all if I basically just, if I'm not really locked in with my grip. Now, if that's what you want, and that's what you're looking for, these are perfect. However, when I'm using a strap, I really just want to lock the strap in and set it and forget it, and not have to really worry about, I'm using a strap to give my grip as much of a break as possible. And I felt like some of the other straps do a better job of really just locking you in to the bar. So again, if it depends on your preferences, right? And so it's still a great weightlifting strap. I still use them from time to time for different things. Just didn't end up being my favorite. So the next one is one of two that I actually got from IronMind. So this is I think they call it the So Easy strap. So this is not a closed loop, this is not a lasso loop, this is actually not a loop at all. So this is just a piece of nylon material, and basically you make your own loop. So it goes around your wrist, comes under the bar, and then you're gonna pull it through and lock it in. So now here's the thing. This is definitely the most advanced of all the different straps. Like, this is gonna take a little bit of time. If you've never used one of these before, it's gonna take a little bit of time to really kind of get the hang of and get used to them. The people that use these and recommend these, like, more than any of the other recommendations I got from anyone else, was adamant about, yep, that is what I use. I would never use anything else. For me personally, and now when I say they're more advanced, I don't mean that you have to be an elite level lifter to use these. Elite level users, again, use all these different kinds of straps, or no straps at all. Just from a learning curve standpoint, if you are a beginner, I would recommend going with a lasso strap. It's easier to use, it's more beginner friendly. if at some point then you want to try to give one of these a shot, give it a shot. But it does take a while to get the hang of, because it's easy when you got the use of both hands to kind of help yourself out. But then when you're on that other hand and you're trying to get it around and you're trying to do this and you're trying to loop it through, it takes a while to get used to. Now, with those and with any of the straps, eventually, your strap is going to end up with a little bit of a natural curve in it. As you continue to use it, it's going to curve, and it's going to become easier and easier to then get your grip and loop around and get locked in. But that's going to definitely take a little bit longer to get used to. Wasn't my favorite. I'm a little bit too type A personality to get the hang of it, if you will, and at the end of the day, some of the other straps do an amazing job of exactly what I want without me having to trying to get past the learning curve or whatever the case may be with these straps. So, but like I said, the people that I talked to that did recommend these straps are adamant about how much they love this kind of strap. So different strokes for different folks, right? So moving on to the last two, and these are probably the most similar, and they ended up being two of my favorites. So the first one is an Olympic weightlifting strap from Rogue. So this is a 10-inch strap as well, 1.5 inch width on it. And from the standpoint of the extra width and the material, the thickness of it, and how locked in I felt with the bar, this one and then the IronMind that I'm gonna talk about in a second, these ended up being my two favorites. It's just, and again, it's just personal preference of, okay, I like this about this strap, but not this, and I like this about this one, and again, the IronMind in a minute, are the ones that check the most boxes for me. So highly recommend the Rogue strap, and then also the last one, which is my favorite right now. These are the ones that I use the most, I go to the most. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but you can tell that they've probably been, got the most wear out of them so far, is the closed loop Olympic lifting strap from IronMind. So both very similar. Rogue actually on the website calls theirs a 10-inch strap. IronMind calls theirs a 21.25 inch. Rogue, I think, is measuring kind of the loop, if you will, and IronMind's measuring the whole strap, and then as it's whatever. But if you actually put them together side by side, I mean, they're literally basically pretty much identical as far as length, and then width as well. Very, 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 very similar. But again, yeah, absolutely my favorite. The IronMind makes great products, high quality, strong, durable. These things feel like they're gonna last me forever. And the width, I like the width of the strap with the wrists. And then once you're locked in with these things, you really feel locked into the bar. So that's kind of my, that's kind of the 6. Harbinger, Spud, Cow Strength, 2 from IronMind, and 1 from Rogue. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope maybe it helped a little bit if you're in the market for some weightlifting straps. Kind of give you some pros and cons of some different ones, and kind of maybe made your buying process maybe a little bit easier. So if this video did help you out a little bit, do me a big favor, hit the like button down below, and can't wait to do this again with you guys next time.